face as uncomprehending. His face, as usual, expressionless. His face was expressed, no feeling at all, no happiness, sad, or anything. Then suddenly, the blank eyes filled with horror. Suddenly now, it's a trauma. Suddenly, a trauma began. Horror, fear in his eyes, could see fear. Maynard began to scream, then he began to, take him away, take him away. He shrieked, he shouted from his throat, hysterically, madly. See, madly. Take him away. He stinks of kerosene. This last line is very important. He stinks of kerosene. Here, the writer is trying to tell us. So, after hearing that Gular is dead, for 9 months, right? 9 months only, this woman gave the birth. So, for 9 months before only, he came to know that Gular is dead, soaking herself kerosene. So, from that day itself, his inner mind was, in inner mind, he was suffering. And suffering. And he was not able to tell anybody. He was suffering. And he is guilty for the death of Gulari. He is guilty because he know that because of his fault that Gulari committed suicide by kerosene oil. So in inner mind, he was suffering a lot and he's blaming himself. He's blaming himself. And then in one point, he became, he's in a coma and that, right? And when he saw the baby, trauma means suddenly it burst. And then he knew that, he accused this small child. So he think the reason for the Gulari's death is the child. Because now everything happened because they wanted a mother-in-law. Mother wants a child in the family. So the cause is the baby. So he doesn't want to accept the baby. He rejected the baby because he thinks that the cause for the Gulari's death is the baby. So that is true because so therefore he says that the baby stinks kerosene. So he's rejecting the baby. He thinks that the baby is a responsible person for the death of Gulari. Can you understand? So what happened ultimately? Mother-in-law wants to have a better life for Menak. How many lives ended? How many lives scattered? Gulari died. Menak is mad. Second wife, no husband. Child, no father. So what she expected did not happen. So in a subtle way, Amrita Pritham is trying to is criticizing. In a subtle way, Amrita Pritham is criticizing such a society in India, right? So here, gender discrimination, heir to the family, and then lives of people. Similar scenes are happening. I don't know whether it's correct or not. Right? Yes, anything? Now it's open for you. Any discussion? Yes, open to you. Yes, Hiranti, Aravindan, and then Samantika. You always like to talk. And then yes, Duranja. Yes, Nuni. Yes, you can ask. And so, yes, Sasna. Yes, yes, Himali. Yes. Yes, Arvind.
Madam, it's not clear whether Manako, his wife, infertile, but Manak's mother arranged his for second marriage. That is a critical. That is a critical or that is
Critical.
decision or that something else. What
Yeah.
about?
Can you read it? Can you repeat it again, Buddha?
Madam, it is not clear whether Manako, his wife, infertile in earlier. Infertile, not
Infertile.
having.
Yeah, that is the thing. That is the thing. Now, luckily, now they had a way. This woman got pregnant, right? This woman,
Yes.
second one.
Yes.
But normally in the society, even in the single Asian country, in the Asian country, normally when a woman cannot bear a child, it always the blame goes to the woman. That is the Asian culture.
That's the thing.
Right? That is the Asian culture, right? But it can be in the man is infertilized the man, but still the blame goes to the woman. But here, of course, Menaki is all right. Menaki is fertile, so that is why the second wife was pregnant. But by the time she arranged the second marriage, at that time she didn't know that even the son was fertile or not.
Oh, that's a question.
Yeah, very good discussion. Very good topic. Yes. Anything else?
And also, madam, there is no unregistered, illegal marriage. Whether it's a registered marriage or.
In India, I don't know about these things, legally things. And rural villages, these things happens now. This story is woven around a rural village in India. In India, Arvindan, because I have been reading a lot of books because I'm doing the literature and others. Even now, as in India, some part of India still very, people are very illiterate. Comparing to now, there is in certain states, low caste people who live.
50,
there are
52
villagers who live in
52.
these low
Literacy
caste. Yes, Siranti?
Literacy percentage is 52.
52
out of 100. 52.
Out of 100. But in Sri Lanka, I think it's more. Right? In some states,
98%.
98. Right. Yeah. In India, 50. 50 means 50, half. Half uneducated.
Some status. Some states.
Yeah, and generally, no, Hiranti?
Yeah, generally.
Generally, it's general. And some states, Aravindan now, especially in low caste people, now this caste discrimination is highly practiced in India. I don't know about Jaffna. I think even in Jaffna, among the Hindu society, caste discrimination is highly practiced. Yes, am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it is that. Yes, it is. So now Jaffna is little modern because we are Sri Lanka. Even though you are Hindu in Jaffna, we are modern because now we are Sri Lankans, right? So a little bit modern. But still, in India, if you are born to a low caste, no way of getting out of it. And
Sri Lankan Hindus are very intelligent person, no madam?
Yeah, they are very intelligent. Right? But only thing that caste is there. So therefore, in some parts of India, people are illiterate. Maybe we don't know which part this story is based on. So anyhow, and the marriage is, we don't know whether it's not mentioned legal or illegal. Maybe, they can do whatever they want because they want to look after, go through the things now. Now, in the cities like Mumbai, Delhi, and Bombay, and Calcutta, and main cities, I don't think these, but even the main cities, it is happened now very recent, about 2 years back. 2 years back, one of my friends' son, he was studying at Lucknow University, music, and when they were in the dormitory, they have seen an accident. A man had met with an accident, and he was lying down on the road, and he was not wearing anything. So from without, that it indicates that he was from a low caste. So it says untouchable. So nobody wants to carry him and bring him to the payment because he's an untouchable, low caste person. So they were waiting and waiting, and they were looking at from the rooms, and for about half an hour, 1 hour, and the cars were moving from side, moving and everywhere, and nobody wants to carry. So what these boys they have done, they have come down from the hostels, and then they have gone to the road, and they have carried the man, and they have brought and kept it in the pavement. And now the man was lying in the pavement, and he was critically injured, and he was asking water, and none of the people was willing to give the water because he is from an untouchable, he's from a low caste family. And then these boys, they have taken a water bottle and given the water. And then even the police, none of them was interested in taking him to hospital. And then they have been watching, and then after some time he had died. He had died in the pavement. And still, nobody wants to take him to the hospital. And then they have, in the night, at about 12 o'clock, they have seen from the urban council, the people who take this the garbage, a garbage lorry has come and taken the body and put it into the garbage and taken the thing. So this is the real truth that's seen by some Sri Lankan boys. This boy is one of my friends. So he was telling such situations are not that much, about 3 years back. This happened 3 years back. Right? So such situations are happening still, right? So here, actually, we are lucky to be in Sri Lanka. Right? Anything else you want to talk about it? Only Hiranti and Aravindan is talking. What about the others? Yashanti, anything you want to tell? Samantika? Hemamali, you're quiet. Why Hemamali? Hemamali, are you there or cooking? Hemamali, are you cooking or in the class? I think Hemamali is cooking. Huh? Right. So another thing I want to tell you. So you can't cook and do all your work after putting your picture, because I undergo a lot of trouble to get ready, to arrange the material, notes and everything. In the previous class also the same thing happened, right? If you want to cook and do other things, just go and do your work, right? If you're in the class, you have to speak. At least if you can't answer, just tell, yes, madam. Yashanti, are you there in the class, Yashanta? Yashanta, are you there in the class? Yashanta is not there. So I'm talking on, right.
Madam, I'm
Now,
Hemali. I'm Hemali Kanaik.
Right, Hemamali, anything you want to tell me
Yes,
about the
madam.
story? Anything you want to
Yes,
tell about the
madam. I am
story?
in the classroom.
Right.
Unable to participate last week, madam. Then clearly, I haven't clear understand about this short story, madam.
Right. So you have to read it by yourself. If you get,
Okay, madam. Okay.
right,
Okay.
you have to read it by
Okay, thank you.
yourself, because I can't,
Okay.
again, I can't do it now because we have other work as well. So you have to read
Okay.
and understand it. Can you understand, Hemamali?
Okay. Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Right.
Thank you.
So I will, right. Anything else you want to tell? Anyone else? Right. I will give the plot, plot of the story. Then you can understand it. People who got absent, and like I don't like when people say that I was absent, I can't understand, because you do a diploma because you have some sort of knowledge, right? If you can't understand or whatever, then you have to start from the advanced certificate level, because in advanced certificate level, we teach you from basic to the top, from each and word. When I'm doing the short stories, I explain each and every word, and then I do drilling. Drilling means repeat. I give the summary, main ideas and everything. Right? In the diploma level, we are not supposed to do everything, because people do diploma because you have some sort of knowledge. So we think that you have some sort of knowledge. So therefore, you can't say that you can't understand. If you get absent, you have to read it and come, right? Yes. Please listen first before writing. Before writing, listen. 1/3 of the story. Plot is 1/3 of the story. And we write the plot in simple present tense. Plot is always simple present tense and 1/3 of the story. Take down now. Plot. Gulari is a cheerful. Gulari is a cheerful, married woman. Gulari is a cheerful married woman who lives, L-I-V-E-S, lives with her husband, Menak. With her husband, Menak. And his mother in a traditional Indian village, full stop. Every year, during the fair, Gulari eagerly, E-A-G-E-R-L-Y, eagerly travels, T-R-A-V-E-S, travels to her parental, P-A-R-E-N-T-A-L, parental home, P-A-R-E-N-T-A-L, parental home in Chamba. In Chamba, it is the highlight, H-I-G-H-L-I-G-H-T. It is the highlight of her life, full stop. It is the highlight of her life, full stop. On this particular, P-A-R-T-I-C-U-L-A-R, P-A-R-T-I-C-U-L-A-R, particular year, on this particular year, she begs, B-E-G-S, begs to go again and though, T-H-O-U-G-H, though Menak remains, R-E-M-A-I-N-S, remains silent. Menak remains silent. She eventually, E-V-E-N-T-U-A-L-L-Y, E-V-E-N-T-U-A-L-L-Y, eventually leaves, L-E-A-V-E-S, leaves after causing, C-O-A-X-I-N-G, causing him, full stop. What Gulari doesn't know, is that Menak's apostrophe S. Menak's mother, who is worried that Gulari has not had children for 7 years, has arranged, ARRANGD, arranged for Menak to marry, MARRY, marry a second woman, full stop. Second woman, full stop. Menak is deeply uncomfortable, UNCOMFORTABLE, uncomfortable and emotionally, EMOTIONALLY, emotionally torn, TORN, torn. Menak is deeply uncomfortable and emotionally torn, but he is too, too weak, 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 too weak to go against, AGAINST, against his mother's, apostrophe S, mother's wishes, WISHES, mother's wishes, full stop. He passively, PASSIVELY, passively goes, GOES, goes through, 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 passively goes through with the second marriage while Gulari is away, 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 full stop. When Gulari hears, HEARS, hears the news, when Gulari hears the news, 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 about the second marriage, when Gulari hears the news about the second marriage, she is devastated, 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 full stop. Without any protest or message, without any protest or message, 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 she pours, POURS, pours kerosene pours kerosene over herself and burns, B-U-R-N-S, burns to death, full stop. Burns to death, full stop. Menak is shattered, S-H-A-T-T-E-R-E-D, shattered. Menak is shattered when he hears about Gulari's death. Menak is shattered when he hears about Gulari's death. Full stop. He becomes withdrawn. He becomes withdrawn and numbed, N-U-M-B, numbed, full stop. Sometime later, his second wife gives birth. Sometime later, his second wife gives birth to a baby boy, but instead, I-N-S-T-E-A-D, but instead of joy, Menak is filled, F-I-L-L-E-D, filled with, Menak is filled with grief, G-R-I-E-F, grief, and guilt, G-U-I-L-T, guilt, full stop. When the child is brought to him, he turns away and says, S-A-Y-S says, within inverted commas, because spoken piece of language. Take him away, within inverted commas. Take him away. He stinks, S-T-I-N-K, stinks of kerosene. Close with the inverted comma, full stop and close. Take him away. He stinks of kerosene. This final line reflects, R-E-F-L-E-C-T-S, this final line reflects the depth, D-E-P-T-H, depth of, this final line reflects the depth of Menak's emotional trauma, T-R-A-U-M-A, trauma, emotional trauma, and his inability, I-N-A-B-I-L-I-T-Y, I-N-A-B-I-L-I-T-Y, inability to forget, inability to forget Gulari's, apostrophe S, Gulari's death, full stop. The stench of kerosene The stench of kerosene has come to symbolize SYMBOLIZD. SYMBOLIZD. Symbolize his guilt. 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 The stench of kerosene has come to symbolize his guilt, comma, grief. 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 And the price, PRICE, price of, and the price of obedience, OBEDIENC, obedience to tradition. Obedience to tradition. TRADITION, tradition. Full stop. Right. Yes, Amma, Nadi, can you read the plot? Then your friends can see whether they have written it correctly. Amma, Nadi?
Yes, madam. I missed one word at the beginning. Shall I still read through?
Yeah.
Gulari is a cheerful married woman who lives with her husband Menak and his mother in a traditional Indian village, I think, right?
Village, yes.
Okay. Every year during the fair, Gulari eagerly travels to her parental house. It's the highlight of her life. On this particular...
parental home in Chamba.
Okay, ma'am. Gulari eagerly travels to her parental home in Chamba. It's the highlight of her life. On this particular year, she begs to go again, and though Menak remains silent, she eventually leaves after... that word was missing, madam.
Cousin. C-O-A.
After?
Cousin. COAXING. Cousin means, like persuading, like, අපි කියන චාටු බස්තදලා කියලා first, right? චාටු දලා in like that cousin. Cousin.
Okay. After
Like urging.
causing him.
Another English word is urging, or in Sinhala we call chatu basdala, like cousin.
What Gulari doesn't know is that Menak's mother, who is worried that Gulari has not had children for 7 years, has arranged for Menak to marry a second woman. Menak is deeply uncomfortable and emotionally torn, but he is too weak to go against his mother. He passively goes through his...
Mother's wish.
Goes to... Okay.
Mother's
He's too weak
wishes. Mother's
to,
wishes. WISHES. Mother's wishes, full stop.
Okay.
Right.
He passively goes through with his second marriage while Gulari was...
Gulari is now simple
word.
present tense, Nadi.
Gulari
Gulari is away.
Okay. While Gulari is away, when Gulari hears the news about the second marriage, she is devastated. Without any protest or message, she pours kerosene over herself and burns to death. Menak is shattered when he hears about Gulari's death. He becomes withdrawn and numb. Sometime later, his second wife gives birth to a baby boy, but instead of joy, Menak is filled with grief and guilt. When the child is brought to him, he turns away and says, "Take him away, he stinks of kerosene." This final line reflects the depth of Menak's emotional trauma, inability to forget Gulari's death. The stench of kerosene has become to symbolize his guilt, grief, and the price of obedience to traditions.
Right. Anything you want to ask? Right. So this is the plot. So, Hemamali, when you read the plot, you can understand the whole story. Right? You read it again and then read my plot, and then you can understand, Hemamali. Okay?
Okay. Thank you,
Right.
madam. Okay.
Right.
I understood,
Right.
madam.
Now I'm going to give the characters. Before I give the characters, I'm going to give a homework. So this is a must, right? Because there is a question called for the examination, comment on extracts. So to comment on extracts, you must know the extracts. Now at
Madam,
home,
excuse me.
yes,
Madam,
Hemamali.
excuse me. last line, his guilt, grief, and the price
Price.
of obedience.
Price of obedience to
PRIC.
the PRIC, price means the mudala. Right.
Okay,
Tag
okay.
here, price
Ah,
of obedience to the tradition.
okay.
Right?
Thank you.
Mila karana kya Mila price, PRICE
Okay.
price. Right. Now extracts, right? So you must know the extract and where they are. Why, right? Extract. Now, how to identify extract? Extract is a spoken piece of language said by somebody to somebody. Right. So you can easily understand when you in a short story or a novel, you can easily understand because always the extracts are within inverted commas. Right? But in some poems, when there are no extract, they give the quote. They quote some important lines. But in a short story, it's always the extracts are there are so many extracts. That means a spoken piece of language. That's an example in the first page. You can see, you will come to the fair at chamber, won't you? Within inverted commas. So similarly, there are about 20 of, I can't remember. So you have to underline all the extracts. Right? Because then I will be teaching, I want to, then I want to point you to the reasons and everything, why it is said and why it's said. And because for the examination, when you're asked to comment on an extract, you have to write about 250 words. 200 words, right? Therefore, you have to have a thorough idea of the extracts, right? That is that. Now I'm going to give you, that is homework. Now I'm going to give you the character sketch, right? Characters, right? There are four main characters, the four characters. Bhavani's character is not a very prominent character, so we are not going to talk about that character, right? Gulari. Take down the character Gulari. Gulari is a loving. Gulari is a loving and emotional village woman who deeply, D-double-E-P-L-Y, deeply cares, C-A-R-E-S, cares for her husband. For her husband, Menak, or Manak or Menak, both correct, full stop. She enjoys visiting her parents during the annual fair, showing, S-H-O-W-I-D, showing her strong connection, C-O-N-N-E-C-T-I-O-N, connection to her family and traditions, full stop. Unfortunately, U-N-F-O-R-T-U-N-A-T-E-L-Y, unfortunately, she cannot have children, which causes, C-A-U-S-E-S, causes her great sadness, S-A-D-N-E-S-S, sadness, full stop. When she finds out that Menak has married another woman, she feels, F-E-E-L-S, feels heartbroken and ends her life by setting setting herself on fire with kerosene. Full stop. Yes, I want Harshamali to read it. Harshamali, are you there? 229, read the character. Hansamali, are you sleeping? Hansamali. Now sleep. You can sleep a lot now. Go home and sleep, right? Yes. Yes. Praboda. Praboda. Yes, can you read it, Putta? Praboda, are you there in the class?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Read the Gulari's character.
Gulari is a loving and emotional village woman who deeply cares for her husband Manak. She enjoys visiting her parents.
Enjoys. What is this? If you can't pronounce enjoys.
She enjoys visiting her parents during the annual fair, showing her strong connection to her family and traditional. Unfortunately,
Traditional name. Traditions. Traditions. Traditions.
unfortunately, she cannot have children, which chaos her dream
Chaos neve darua. Causes. CAUSES. That
causes
me exam you are not getting marks. Huh? Causes. Causes.
her great sadness when she finds out that Nanak
Puta.
has married.
Finds out.
She finds out that Manak has married another woman. She feels heartbroken and ends her life by setting herself on fire with kerosene.
Right. Good. Right. Samarha khata. Right. Yes. Next character. Manak. Manak is Gulari's husband. Full stop. He loves her, but is weak. He loves her, but is weak and passive. W-E-K, weak and passive. P-A-S-S-I-V-E, passive. Unable, U-N-A-B-L-E, unable to stand up to his mother's, apostrophe S, mother's wishes, W-I-S-H-E-S, W-I-S-H-E-S, wishes, full stop. Even though he does not want a second marriage, he obeys, O-B-E-Y-S, obeys his mother and marries, M-A-R-R-I-S, marries, M-A-R-R-I-S, marries another woman, full stop. Marries another woman, full stop. After Gulari's death, Menak becomes mentally, M-E-N-T-A-L-L-Y, mentally disturbed, D-I-S-T-U-R-B-E-D, disturbed because of guilt, G-U-I-L-T, guilt and sorrow. Because of guilt and sorrow, S-O-R-R-O-W, sorrow. I'm giving only a little bit, but there are some more. Yes, I want Mithya. Can you read it, Putta? Mithya, Menak's character.
Yes, ma'am. Menak is Gulari's husband. He loves her but weak and passive, unable to stand up to his mother's wishes. Even though he does not want a second marriage, he obeys his mother and marries another woman. After Gulari's death, Menak becomes mentally disturbed because of guilt and sorrow.
Putta, mentally disturbed, D-I-S-T-U-R-B-E-D, disturbed, right? So, now I have two more characters, Menak's mother and second wife, but today I'm not going to give it. I will be giving it next weekend. Next weekend, I'm getting absent. The week after next. Next weekend, I'm not coming. And even Vihalisa is not coming. We have a small function at home, right? So the week after next, I'm going to give the two characters, and then we are going to discuss about the extracts. And after that, I will be starting my new lesson. I'm not going to discuss the questions as soon because I'm keeping the questions, for to the latter part. Because if I discuss the question now itself, I know that you are going to forget. Now, what I teach last week, and some of you can't remember this week. So similarly, if I discuss the question next week and the week after, you are going to forget. So I'm going to keep it later, right? So after discussion, I'm going to start my new lesson, that is formal letters. Under formal letters, we have to do complaint letters, requests, inquiry, thanking, so much and so much letters, right? Then I'm going to start letters and then essays and then discussion for questions. And also I'm going to give the, after doing the lesson, after starting after starting formal letters and after introducing some letters, I'm going to give the continuous assessment as well. CAT as well, right? So anything you want to ask before I wind up the class? Right. Homework is there. So please read the story. Now, when you are going through the story, when you're finding the extracts, so that means you're reading again, either to compare and contrast with the, if you can't understand, just keep the plot with you, and then you can understand the story, right? Then thank you very much. Take care. See you next weekend. Right. Before I leave, some of the students, they have already left. I think they are hungry. Right.
Thank you, Mona.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you,
Right. You're welcome.
Thank you, Mama.
You're welcome.